The former governor of Ekiti State, His Excellency Ayo Fayose, has publicly endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second-term bid or for a second-term re-election into office come the year 2027. What bewilders my imagination mostly is the singular fact that this former PDP governor is still a card-carrying member of PDP, and he was simply wearing PDP cap while endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Are we not living in a crazy society? Well, the Igbos, in their wisdom, according to Igbo customs and traditions, it takes the killing of one leopard, especially in the words of Professor Ndubisi Ekekwe, it takes the killing of one leopard to be called the killer of leopards. Many of you may have seen some Igbo elite or some titled Igbo man who goes by the name Obuagu, Obuinyenya, Obuefi, and all of that. It takes the killing of one leopard to be called the killer of leopards. However, in this context, we are not talking about the killing of a leopard. We are simply talking about the entrenchment of rascality in this country. Don't forget that it was the FCT minister, Honorable Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike, who started playing both wings and both parties as a card-carrying member of PDP. He is still currently working for APC, joining them in some of their businesses, campaigning for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu while attacking both PDP members as well as other political parties, including P2B. That same act of Nyesom Wike, which many Nigerians have described as a gross political rascality, is what is currently being entrenched in Nigeria political ecosystem. That is why you are simply seeing the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, wearing PDP cap while endorsing APC presidential candidate or APC president. It is crazy. But you know what? Do not forget that this same Ayo Fayose has been on trial from EFCC alleged 6.9 billion naira case of money laundering. He was just acquitted just on the 16th of July 2025, and today he is endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for second term. Watch the video.
To endorse publicly without reservation the President and Commander of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for second term. And equally, because that is the reason why we are here, and to endorse our own governor, humility personified, our own governor, Abayomi Oyebanji, and his deputy bow for second term. Your Excellency, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Well, before we go for further discussion, I told you guys earlier that the Nigerian political space is becoming more interesting, that 2027 is heavily pregnant. Yes, SDP political party has just expelled ElRufai, the former governor of Kaduna State. And they expelled him for 30 years, that he's never going to have any association with the political party in the next 30 years. Now that number of years, don't they, make me confused. Say, why would they give ElRufai this longer period of years of suspension, or expulsion from the party? It is crazy. Why did they expel, the former governor of Kaduna State? They expelled him based on impersonation and forgery. According to the National Working Committee of SDP political party, they claimed that ElRufai is not a registered card-carrying member of SDP, but he goes around parading himself as a member of the party. They went further to state categorically that his presence in SDP is destabilizing the party, causing internal wrangling with his, political maneuvering and all forms of confusion. And because of all of these and many other reasons, they decided to formally expel Nasir El-Rufai from the party. These are, interesting time in Nigerian political space. Do not forget that initially Nasir El-Rufai was truly parading himself that he has joined SDP political party, calling Peter Obi, Atiku and others to come and join him. Now, I think he has mellowed down on his political ambition, saying that it is the turn of the South to produce a presidential candidate. I sincerely hope that he's going to stick to that very decision so that we know that the people we are battling with now is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Rotimi Amechi. And God's willing, ADC is planning to have a NEC meeting very soon, National Executive Council meeting, to make a decisive decision on who will be the presidential flag bearer, or whether they will still resort to going through the primaries, of which, if they go through the primaries, unfortunately, Peter Obi will not make it to that very ticket, because Atiku will, as always, use his financial resources to buy the ticket, and that will be a shot on his leg because he will not win. Every other northern elite has acknowledged that it is the turn of the South to produce a presidential candidate. So what Atiku needs now is to garner his unalloyed support and hang around Peter Obi so that APC government can actually be overthrown. Now back to the former governor of Ekiti State. When I tell you about political rascality in Nigeria, do not doubt me. Politicians are the ones who are always taking the lead in entrenching rascality in this country, Nigeria. They have, denounced and destroyed every form of integrity in their lives because of their political gains. So somebody who is a PDP card-carrying member wearing PDP cap and publicly declaring support for APC, president, it's ridiculous. But in their eyes, it is not a bad thing. After all, Nyesom Wike has done it and he's still doing it. And this takes me back to what I told you guys earlier, that the remaining fractions of PDP now, after Alhaji Atiku Abubakar left, is never going to collapse their structure. Yes, the ruling party has already infiltrated that remaining fraction. And the ruling party is going to work with Nyesom Wike to make sure that they use them as a tool to destabilizing the bigger opposition, either the ADC coalition at the end of the day or Labour Party, whichever that emerges, as the front runner for 2027. Their intention will be to field a candidate that will help to divide the vote in bits and in pieces, so that Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu will now use the power of incumbency after this vote has been divided to win the election. That is the game plan, and that is why I'm not surprised with what Ayo Fayose is doing here. It's a calculated plan, and many Nigerians are already alleging that what he just did in that video is part of the agreement with the ruling party, allegedly, that his 6.9 billion naira money laundering case was going to be, died down, and he's going to give his unalloyed support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is what Nigerians are alleging. Because I remember on that 16th of July, Justice Chukwujeku ruled a no-case submission on his case, claiming that EFCC, failed to establish a prima facie in order for Ayo Fayose to drift further into getting a defense. That is to say that EFCC failed to provide substantive evidence to prove their case against Ayo Fayose over the money laundering of 6.9 billion naira. That is after 7 years, my brothers and sisters. After 7 years, the court is now ruling that EFCC failed to establish or provide prima facie over the case. Nigeria, wonder. Nigeria is a wonderful country. And that is why we want to take this country back from APC. That is why I'm interested in Peter Obi laying a new foundation of democratic governance, where there will be rule of law, where there will be justice and fairness, where judiciary truly will be the last hope of a common man, where judiciary will be respected once again in this country, Nigeria. Well, at this point, good people, like I've always opined, 2027 is heavily pregnant, and now the political hemisphere of this country, Nigeria, is becoming very interesting. If you are not following this channel, you are missing out a lot, because we will continue to dig deep into all of this, expose and bring to clarity and to the knowledge of people what needs to be made public. At this point, I will allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. Man, another person see am. God bless you.